Alright guys, welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm Road to BlizzCon qualifiers. We actually got really lucky. That match ended just in time for us to hop into our next match, which will be Plato some Tangos versus Psistorm Gaming. And we caught them before game one. Unfortunately, they have already drafted though, so we won't get to see that.
Darn.
I
would have liked to see the draft. We really like the draft. But what do they have on their teams right now, Gilly?
Looks like we've got... let's see, Malfurion, Zeratul, somebody I can't see, Anubarak, and Sylvanas on the side of Psistorm Gaming. Meanwhile, Plato has picked up Jaina, Muradin, Vala, Tassadar, and Uther. So, very sustainable composition there with both Uther and Tassadar. But we're going to load into the game. So good luck both teams, and we'll be on, I guess the battleground will be Dragonshire.
Indeed it will. We have been on this map before today, so interesting to see how these teams will go about it. If you are not familiar with the battleground, just a really quick review. 2 shrines, 1 top, 1 bottom. Your team wants to capture both of them. If you do, you are equipped to then take the Dragon Knight in the middle of the map. One of your heroes can become this monster who will do lots and lots of damage, especially towards structures, and that will be a big help to you in pushing whichever lane you so choose.
Exactly right. It looks like we are loading in, and I've got the overlays on the wrong side, so if you wouldn't mind introducing Psistorm Gaming in blue, I would be forever grateful.
Certainly, Psistorm Gaming will be made up of the Karate Kid, who will play Zeratul Co-Tank on Anubarak. Vital will play Malfurion. Chrysillo will play Sylvanas, and Lucio will play Johanna. We've seen Co-Tank before in the Heroes Type Amateur series, so hi Co-Tank.
Yeah, he also played on the ASU team for Heroes of the Storm, so got a lot of experience with big events then. On the side of Plato, we've also seen them in the Heroes Type Amateur series. We've got Apollo playing Vala, Mookie's on Uther, Prismaticism playing Tassadar, King Plato on Jaina, and B-Kid playing Muradin.
B-Kid, as opposed to A-Kid. Alright, well we see the teams roaming as 5 on the side of our friends here, but it looks like we will have a lot of action in the middle, Gilly.
Yes, we will. Looks like both teams maybe are going to go for that rotation between mid and bottom and often see on Dragonshire, as we have Anubarak and Tassadar hanging out together up in the top. So, yep, they're going to be able to take out those minions and then rotate down to the bottom, looking for potential pickups as in terms of hero takedowns, as well as maybe even getting a push going. Both sides have the potential for a really good siege between having Sylvanas on the side of Psistorm Gaming and Plato having Jaina as well.
Yeah, it looks like Psistorm is making some very quick work of the minions in that mid lane. And as we mentioned before, on this map you can kind of rotate between 2 lanes and make sure you're not missing out on experience. It looks like Psistorm is doing that very well with 4 different heroes going between the mid and bottom lanes and clearing them out, pushing them out very well. Though, Plato was able to grab that shrine in the bottom lane while Psistorm wasn't looking, and it looks like they'll engage over it right now.
Yes, indeed. Karate Kid getting pretty low there, throwing a ton of damage on him, and even with the doesn't even need the condemn there, but they have it just in case. They will be able to pick up the takedown on Zeratul. So now they're even turning their sights toward Vital on that Malfurion, who does not have very much escape. Johanna will even go down as well, so a lot of damage potential from Plato, as well as stuns. They've got Uther, they've got Muradin as well, and then they've got Jaina, who can even slow down when she starts throwing damage on people. So with that, they've got the bottom shrine. Unfortunately, they're waiting to take the Dragon Knight, but the top shrine is going to Co-Tank.
Looks like it. Trying to get a sense of what these teams are looking for in the overall narrative of this game. Of course, we do have the dual support happening on the side of Plato some Tangos, and that's paying off for them as they are level 5 right now. Their opponents just now hitting level 4. We do have Sylvanas, who is notably a great pusher. In the meantime, we have the Karate Kid and Co-Tank looking for a kill on Prismaticism up there. But only the 1 healer and the 1 tank for our friends, or sorry, 2 tanks actually. We have Johanna and Anubarak on the side of Psistorm Gaming, so we will see dual tank versus dual support.
Man, Vala was able to hit the well just in time, but the damage ticking down from Envenom, which Sylvanas picked up at level 4, was just enough to be able to pick up that takedown, which means that for now, Psistorm is going to feel a little bit safe here in the bottom with that Shrine. They might even start getting a really good push going as they do have Sylvanas, but no, they're going to be content to maybe rotate up, try to get some more takedowns here as B-Kid is a little bit out of position. A good content's going to come down, pull both him and King Plato back in, but throwing all your damage on Muradin is never something that you want to be doing as he is very tanky.
Yeah, if the damage had gone on King Plato instead, that engagement may have gone differently. But as it is, it looks like Pool Plato is still in good health, and they will fall down to look to perhaps defend this bottom shrine. 4v4 here in the bottom lane.
Yes, we've got 4v4 here. B-Kid jumping in, wanting to catch somebody out with the Storm Bolt. So far, the Karate Kid taking a lot of damage, but a really good protective shield from Malfurion is going to be what saves him there. It looks like they are trying to get this shrine because Tassadar has the one on top, but so far they're doing a really good job of trying to deal with this. And now with the takedown on Muradin, Psistorm Gaming, we've got to be feeling pretty good. The shrines have been picked up by Pool Plato, but nobody was there to try to capitalize on it and pick up the Dragon Knight. So they'll be able to stop Pool Plato from getting Dragon Knight for now.
They sure will, and it looks like we now have the Karate Kid going to clean up mid. Team's paying a lot of attention to soaking experience and making sure their lanes stay under control. Almost even in experience now with a little bit of a lead from Pool Plato, some tangos. But we have also a push from Prismaticism early up here in the top lane, but the Karate Kid and Kotank will collapse upon him. Will he be able to get away from Kotank? I doubt it. The Burrow Charge will take him down. Now Kotank and the Karate Kid are looking to make sure that that shrine does not stay red for long. They don't want to leave the Dragon Knight available to King Plato, who gets denied, will not be able to grab the Dragon Knight.
I wanted to note that we saw Kotank and Tassadar going head-to-head pretty even in lane until Tassadar hit level 4 and grabbed that promote. And then the promoted minions started doing a lot more damage, started pushing a lot harder, and from there Tassadar had a much easier time going 1v1 versus Kotank, which has forced members of Psistorm to come up and deal with that. But they do have Zeratul, who's very good at roaming and has been doing so all game, so that's definitely been able to help out, especially since they were able to pick up that takedown on Prismaticism. But he is back, and now he's once again going after the shrine.
We do see a leveling out of the levels. Now, Pool Plato, some tangos, and the Psistorm Gaming are about equal, and they're pushing toward level 10 at about the same speed. Just trading these shrines, which we see quite often in the early game, both teams being willing to just make sure that the other team is not grabbing the Dragon Knight and looking for their heroic abilities first so that they can engage, get a pick, and then potentially take that Dragon Knight in order to have the advantage on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Speaking of talents, we do have a cleanse, once again for Uther, very often picked, but it will come in handy as there are a lot of stuns and roots on the side of Psistorm Gaming with that Malfurion and the Anub'arak, Johanna even as well. So they're going to need that for sure. There's a condemn, and as you saw, Uther did not get pulled in because of the cleanse. So that cleanse, so useful of a talent here. Now it looks like Pool Plato is trying to maybe get a pick off here. They know that they're level 10 just slightly before, but they're taking a lot of damage for it. But so is Vital, who is almost down, and there's even the Water Elemental went down from King Plato, but they weren't able to pick up any takedowns, and now their opponents are going to be level 10 too before the next engagement.
Yeah, they had a very small window there, and they tried to make use of it, but unfortunately weren't able to do much. That means that we're still going to see this balancing act going back and forth as teams are not willing to overextend and not willing to give up both shrines either. So we now see a red shrine on the bottom and a blue one on the top. Prismaticism trying to change that, but Kotank is going to come in and disallow that grabbing of that shrine. We do have the Karate Kid hiding in the bushes looking at Mookies as a Lucio and Vital come in to join the fight. The Condemn will pull him back. He gets stunned, then rooted, but the Invulnerable and Divine Shield go down on Mookies, and he manages to get behind the wall without being taken down. Now we see Tranquility going down from Malfurion. And oh my gosh, so many things, so many takedowns happened, Gilly, that I couldn't even say them all fast enough.
Man, Zeradol had a ridiculous cleave that did get that Vala takedown, but I want to note that, man, that Uther keeping himself alive was the true name of that fight, because staying alive just long enough that you could hit the well, heal back up a little bit, and then from there Vala was like, hello, you're all out of position, here's some strafing for you, enjoy that very much, okay, thanks, bye. And that was a ton of damage, helped pick up 2 takedowns there. So Plato definitely came out a little bit ahead in that fight, but wasn't too bad. They didn't, you know, get a full team fight or team wipe, anything like that.
Yeah, we just saw that the Dragon Knight was available for Psistorm Gaming, but B-Kid put his big tanky butt right on the Dragon Shrine and said, nope, you can't have it, I'm going to sit here. And Johanna wasn't willing to put herself in harm's way, so didn't get taken by anybody. Now we see a lot of attention focused on the top of the map, and it will be Sylvanas who will fall first, as now we have an engagement 3v3 in the top.
Oh, and now Jaina will go down as well. I wanted to point out that Sylvanas, before losing her own life, did throw an amazing Envenom on top of Tassadar. Tassadar pretty difficult to try to take out, but they were able to do so, securing that takedown with the Envenom. But now there's a little bit of a power play for Psistorm Gaming, who has 2 heroes down on their opponent's side, and they're going to have Sylvanas back up in 3 seconds. So they do have the potential to make something happen while Plato is respawning, trying to get back out here. But Plato, with the amount of takedowns that they have, they're going to hit level 13 first. So very even game so far. We haven't even mentioned the heroic abilities yet. We've got Water Elemental, Avatar Strafe, the Archon, and Divine Shield for Plato. But Psistorm picked up the Void Prison, Locust Swarm, Tranquility, Wailing Arrow, and Blessed Shield on Johanna.
It's really interesting. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of communication from both teams on this battleground so far. It looks like they are moving as a group and separated, and kind of the ebb and flow of the game is consistent with the idea of a team really keeping in touch with each other. There's a lot of movement and not a lot of narrative yet, as each team is just kind of spreading out where they need to be at any given time, but well coordinated in doing so.
Yeah, it is really funny to see, like, I feel like each team thinks, okay, we've got the advantage here in terms of people, and then somebody from the opposing team also comes in. It's like, actually, we don't, and there's been a lot of movement with all of these team members. But while there's a push happening in bottom for Plato, they are also going to lose this top fort here as Psistorm is pushing with the Sylvanas. Remember, with the Sylvanas, you always have the stronger push. Apollo's going to come in here, try to get something done, but Kotank very quickly going to push her away. Now there's even a fight here on bottom, though. Vital getting very, very low, does pop. Tranquility is going to stay alive. That thing is so hard to stop. And because they popped it, they are all pretty healthy, but unfortunately they did have to step back just enough time for Plato to pick up a fort of their own.
Yeah, I mean, we have so much mirroring going on in this game, and it's evident by the fact that both teams have just hit level 15 and are progressing through them very rapidly. They did both use structures to get experience, and we saw a very balanced push in the bottom and in the top, and both teams kind of reacting to everything that the other does or doing the same things at the same time. They have gotten a few picks, and they will add one more to the mix. Looks like a new Barak will fall on the side of Psistorm Gaming. Team Gaming will use that to their advantage, but still doesn't have much of a lead. It looks like the Dragon Knight is available right now for Psistorm Gaming, but Plato does not want to give them any room to grab it.
Psistorm does have a push against them on top, and oh, Karate Kid able to blink in there and take down Vala and then Wormhole right back out. Really fantastic pickup there, right in the face of danger of a whole bunch of members of Plato even. And now it is 1v1 here. They're trying so hard to pick up the Dragon Knight. So far, Plato doing a great job of avoiding this. The Water Elemental constantly pushing Vital back a little bit, but now there is a Void Prison. I don't think they'll try to pull. No, I thought maybe they would try to pick up the Dragon Knight from there, but instead they're going to go ahead and pick up takedown. They might even get another one. It's going to be really close. They will secure that takedown on Jaina, and that means the first Dragon Knight? Is this first Dragon Knight?
Yes, finally!
Oh my gosh!
Teams, please! I'm really glad that we do see a Dragon Knight, and as you can see, he will be charging down this mid lane. They will take down this fort, and they will continue this push. Plato some Tangos is really hoping they don't continue much further, as if their keep goes down, then they would have to deal with catapults at this point in the game. That's not something they're really looking forward to. The Karate Kid and the Dragon Knight still very, very healthy and with plenty of time. he's going to just move away from where there's lots of defense, and instead he's going to look to take down this fort in the bottom lane now.
Going after the fort while there's not even a space open. Really cool though that he's after the fort while the rest of his team is creating an escape path, so that's pretty cool to see. Shrink Ray goes down on the Dragon Knight from Buki's. So it's gonna be doing a little bit more damage while it's up, but it's already back down. And now that there's so much damage, both teams are 16, but Jaina's got to be really careful, is going to be shielded. Divine Shield also on Prismaticism, but they are all still very low. Looks like Mookie's is having a little bit of an issue trying to keep everybody up and healthy. Now B-Kid even is taking a bunch of damage and will be punted back behind the base.
B-Kid was just... The Karate Kid was just playing soccer with B-Kid that whole time. Punched him over toward their side of the map, now back over toward his own side of the map. Ooh, but Chryslo getting stunned, and Sylvanas will fall very quickly. And that's an example, again, of that coordination where if teams can really focus on one person, they have lots of opportunities here. Kotank is now the one person who will be focused this time. And Plato Some Tangos is angrily pushing back over to the side of the map of Psistorm.
I like that Kotank went into the Void Prison like, are you ready for me to take you out, Apollo? You're on Vala, you're squishy, just get ready. And then the Void Prison stops and she's like, strafe, strafe for my life, and they're able to pick up the kill. So really cool to see them save Vala. That means that they definitely have a potential to push here as well. They have 2 members down on their opponent's team. They're going to push down here toward the bottom, try to even up the structures a little bit as they are favoring Psistorm Gaming, and they're going to start putting damage on this keep, but they've got to be careful because they're wide open for some damage, and the Karate Kid tried to capitalize on that, but so far they're all staying alive. There's a good route though, and Alucio is back in here trying to pull members in. B-Kid's going to Dwarf Toss out. Will they continue to follow? It looks like it. A Wailing Arrow will go down on B-Kid and Apollo. Condemn's going to pull B-Kid back in. Apollo getting solo, but does get Holy Light from Uther. They're still going to run away, and it looks like the chase will be concluded.
I was going to say, as we saw that push coming out of Plato, that the metronome of this game is almost maddening in terms of, I do this, you do that. I do this, you do that, and staying very equivalent. The thing is, that has started to change a little bit because the Dragon Knight, this point in the game, actually did gain a lot of experience for Psistorm Gaming, so they are a solid level ahead. And they are now looking toward level 20. Once they hit level 20, they're probably going to be looking for an engagement against Plato Some Tangos, and that's where the momentum of this game really starts to shift one way or the other, instead of being this give-and-take rhythm that we've seen so far.
Oh, Prismaticism tried to use Dimensional Shift for a little extra speed boost and tried to stop Karate Kid from picking up those Siege Giants, but was not quite in time. That's the second time we've seen a really cool use of Dimensional Shift for movement purposes, but now there's a huge push from Mercenaries here on the bottom that's going to need Plato to respond to it, and that gives Psistorm Gaming the possibility of a little bit of time to rotate, maybe take some more Merc camps, maybe even look at taking the Dragon Knight.
It wouldn't be a bad time to do so, but they only have a few seconds, and I don't think that they have really made the beeline they would need to in order to do that. They will grab the top shrine, but I think the bottom shrine will very easily be taken by Apollo here for Plato, and as such, the Dragon Knight will stay neutral right now.
Alright, well, level 20 Storm talents have been picked up for Psistorm Gaming, and they do have Rewind on that Zeratul, so we're going to see a lot of bombs, as he also picked up double bombs at 16 Singularity Spikes, so many of them. And this does mean that Plato is going to have to play a little less aggressively as they try to pick up level 20. They definitely don't want their opponents to pick up that Dragon Knight, though. And Anubrak is right there. Kotank will grab the Dragon Knight, and this is going to be tough. They definitely need 20 before they're going to get in a team fight, but they might not have a choice as there is a Dragon Knight barreling down toward their keep.
Lucio is going to be escorting Kotank. Meanwhile, the rest of Psistorm Gaming Karate Kid is all the way over here. Hey guys, wait for me. I'll be there in just a second. He's going to come join them, but it looks like Plato Some Tangos is coordinated and ready to defend against this Dragon Knight. May not be quite as much of a push from this one as the last one.
Yeah, they did a really good job even shielding up the keep to defend it even a little bit more. But like I said, they still have to be careful because at any point they can get engaged upon, and they still don't quite have level 20 yet. The Prismaticism is a little bit forward, but can do so as he has that prescience and the Dimensional Warp. So he is a little more difficult to kill. He's got a lot of healing abilities. Gonna keep trying to shield that keep wherever possible. Now Kotank is out of the Dragon Knight, but they still have the possibility of engaging in their opponent. Still not level 20. B-Kid has the Divine Shield, is going to be getting back, trying to stay safe. Apollo's going to be shielded as well. And now with Sylvanas here, they're able to take out the keep. That will be the first keep of the game.
Looks like they're going to back out here, although they are still very healthy. They could be trying to draw Pool Plato some Tangos away from the core in order to fight more, but that will be at the cost of one of their team members as Nubarak does fall. It looks like we'll have an Ice Block on Valkyrian, which will only delay the inevitable as he will fall as well. Lucio trying to get out of the way, but will be stunned and will go down as well. The Karate Kid is now the one being chased, while Chrysalo just runs to the bottom of the map trying to hide. And it looks like the Karate Kid will fall as well. Sylvanas is the only remaining member of Psistorm Gaming. Now that leaves lots of room for Pool Plato some Tangos to even things up a bit.
They're pinging the bottom lane. They might be pushing this straight in here. They only have Vala down. That Vala player, Apollo, has to be so frustrated with Zeratul, who's been focusing her every time. They're trying to catch Chrysalo. They will get a great stun Hammer of Justice on her, and she will go down. And with that, it's still even 11 seconds before Nubarak is up. Vala isn't here. There's a little bit less damage. They also don't have any of their heroic abilities, so it's just them throwing what they've got left. They're down in mana a little bit now. Here comes Nubarak, going to try to stop them as best he can. The keep is at 55%, falling very rapidly thanks to King Plato, who is trying like mad to just run around and stay away. I do believe this will be it. Pool Plato Simtangos will grab game one.
Wowee. Ring around the rosy from Jaina there. Led Kotek on the chase. Wow. So was this game one or game two of this series? I couldn't remember if we had jumped in.
This is actually game one. We caught them just in time.
Well,
we just didn't see the draft, yeah.
Okay, well that's great. So game one now over. What do you think we saw in that game that we may see change in the next game, Gilly?
That's an excellent question. We did have a double tank versus the single tank Murden and Uther. But, oh my gosh, am I reading this right? Did they only have, oh no, they had Uther. Okay, so it was a double tank versus double support.
Right.
So I'm wondering if maybe they will go for something more like a double support instead. I thought for a second it was just Tassadar supporting. I was like, that's not right. You know, it always comes down to like the ability to engage in and try to zone and keep people off of your squishy, your damage dealers versus the power of just healing through everything. And yeah, they couldn't heal through like when Zeratul would just blink in and just destroy Vala. But then once he did that, he was kind of out of everything, you know, and then they would catch him or something like that. So I think maybe we'll see them either try to get more damage dealers, like maybe a Jaina or a Kael'thas. If they're going to continue to run something like that, I feel like when you're going to do a double warrior, like with a Nubarak, then you want somebody more like a Kael'thas or something. They just had Sylvanas and Zeratul, and I think that might have been a little bit difficult for them.
Yeah, it's interesting. This map in particular can be so back and forth, and I think that's what we saw from these teams this time. And I wonder, depending on which battleground we see them on next, whether they'll adjust their compositions or whether they might use these to a different effect on a different battleground.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. It does totally rely on what battleground you're going to be on, and we will see what that's going to be very soon. It will be Psistorm Gaming's choice of what battleground we're on, so maybe we'll even see them pick up one that they're a little more comfortable on as well. So with that, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have Game 2 with Pool Plato Simtangos versus Psistorm Gaming.